All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much. I'm Cole Pemper, Director of Broadcasting and Digital Content for Sporting JAX, and I'm excited to be here today. So glad that you could all join us. I want to introduce to you those who are sitting here at the front table. Closest to me is Steve Livingstone, the President and CEO of Sporting JAX. On the far side there is Principal Owner Ricky Kaplan. And in the middle is the man we are here to introduce to you, Mark Warburton. We'll tell you more about Mark and his role and history here coming up in just a bit. For now, I'll start it off with Steve to get things started.
Thanks, Cole. Thanks, Ricky. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everyone, for coming out today for today's announcement. This is really a landmark moment for Sporting JAX as we take another step forward by appointing our club's first head of soccer and sporting director. This is really a pivotal role that will oversee all soccer-related operations for the club, including both the women's and men's professional teams in the USL Super League and USL Championship, as well as our pre-professional clubs in the USLW League and League Two. The role also extends to our future professional soccer academy that we're going to develop, ensuring a seamless development pathway for emerging talent from youth to pro here in our market locally. This crucial role will be responsible for shaping and developing our sporting philosophy, spearheading talent identification and recruitment, hiring coaching and technical staff, developing player pathways and elevating overall performance at every level of the club. Our head of soccer will also bridge the gap between the professional and developmental sides of the club, working in close collaboration with our Sporting JAX Soccer Academy, as you all formally know as Florida Elite. And I want to just say hi to the Florida Elite guys for coming out to support our announcement today. Great to have you. Together, we are building a strong, competitive and sustainable soccer culture that not only drives success on the field, but also fosters opportunity and community engagement off it. At Sporting JAX, we are establishing new benchmarks for soccer in Jacksonville and throughout the First Coast. Everything we do, from bringing elite Division 1 women's pro soccer and soon Division 1 men's pro soccer to the region, partnering with one of the largest and most successful youth clubs in the country, to constructing a 15,000 capacity soccer-specific stadium, is fuelled by ambition and an unwavering commitment to success. Our sporting director and head of soccer plays a pivotal role in this vision. This is not just another hire. It's a defining moment that will chart out both the immediate and long-term success of Sporting JAX. For a role of this magnitude, we needed to find someone with world-class qualifications, specialised experience and an unwavering commitment to success. I'm delighted to announce that after a worldwide search, we have found that person, and it is with great pleasure that I welcome Mark Warburton, a highly accomplished and globally respected soccer management professional, as our new head of soccer and sporting director. Mark's track record in professional soccer speaks for itself, but allow me to highlight just a few of his notable achievements. Most recently, Mark played a crucial role in guiding famous English Premier League club West Ham United to victory in the 2023 UEFA Europa Conference League final, securing a historic 2-1 victory over Italian club Fiorentina. His extensive professional career includes management and executive roles at some of the most prestigious clubs in the UK, including Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Queen's Park Rangers and Glasgow Rangers in the Scottish Premier League. Mark has guided teams to league and cup victories, playoff success and the highest levels of European competition glory, all while developing a reputation as a brilliant strategist, trusted leader and builder of elite soccer programmes. His dedication to player development, from youth academies to first-team professionals, aligns perfectly with our goal and mission here at Sporting JAX, and we are truly fortunate to have him join us here in Jacksonville. With Mark at the helm, Sporting JAX is not only positioned for success in Jacksonville, we are ready to make an impact on the national and international soccer stage. And now, without further ado, I'd like to invite Ricky Kaplan to officially welcome Mark to Sporting JAX by presenting him with our official Sporting JAX club scarf. And let me hand back to Cole and Mark. Maybe if you want to say a few words, I'll get down from here and be quiet. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks to Steve for those very kind words. Thank you. And sincere thanks while I'm here to Ricky, to Steve, of course, and the ownership group for this opportunity, which is a very special project. And hopefully I can talk very quickly and not bore you about the potential of this project. So Steve first spoke to me several months ago in London, and in truth I didn't know what to expect from the conversation, but it became apparent very quickly that there's a bold vision, a burning ambition, an unwavering commitment to bring in elevating soccer here in Northeast Florida. And the more we spoke over the coming months, the more it became apparent of the opportunity, the potential here in Sporting JAX. So it was an obvious decision to make, one I'm very privileged to accept, and as I say, it's great to be here this afternoon. I'm sure there's some of you sitting there thinking, who's this British guy who knows nothing about US soccer? And I don't understand those sentiments. So on that note, I've been very fortunate. I've been back in London looking at books and online journals, but I've had the support of some outstanding people. The likes of Becky Burley, the legendary coach at Florida, has been on hand to impart her knowledge and experience, which has been great. Sean Bubb and his staff at Florida Elite, again, soon to become Sporting JAX Academy, has been first class, 24/7, available for help and support, and my sincere thanks to everyone concerned. But I hope very much, as Steve very kindly said, I've got a CV that includes Academy Director, Technical Director and First Team Manager of some decent clubs in the UK and a good track record. And as I say, you're privileged to work in professional sport, and I've enjoyed every single minute of that. I use that word privilege because it truly is the global game. It really is the world's game, and the fact that you work in a full-time professional capacity is an absolute privilege. And I hope very much that every single player, every single staff member at Sporting JAX will recognise that privilege and recognise the responsibility they have to the club and to the community going forward. So, you may know that I had a different career prior to professional football, which prepared me for competitive environments and pressure. But I knew leaving the city that I had to improve my depth of knowledge in terms of player development. So I spent a year going around Europe, visiting some of the biggest clubs, the likes of Sporting Lisbon, FC Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, PSG, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, etc., to understand their player development models. So it's so important to have that education. And whilst they all had their own methodologies and their own practices, they also had one consistent trait, and that was creating an environment that was conducive to learning and development and allowed each and every player to be the best they could be. They fostered a feeling of pride and respect in the club and the community, and an evident pride to be there. And they set standards of behaviour which are noticeable throughout all of those various clubs in different territories. And that's what we must reenact here. We must make sure that Sporting JAX gives that opportunity to every single player. From the youngest academy player through to the most senior professional player, we must ensure the care and attention, the quality of information that's imparted, make sure they enjoy every experience of being with the club. And that's really important. And going back to my conversation with Steve, it wasn't just the ambition and the vision, it was more about the values and the character that must be displayed by everyone associated with the club, and that's really important to me, and it matched everything I stand for, I hope I stand for as well. So, we go forward from there. This microphone's not the best, I apologise. Thank you. So, talking about the environment we create is obviously very important, but you need the right people. The right people create the right place, the right environment, and implement the right programmes of work, which allows the children, allows the senior players to be the best they can be, to challenge them. Now, we're going to have children in the academy and the guys from Florida Elite at the back there. We're going to have some children love training twice a week, play the odd weekend, and that's the most their ambition going in soccer. There'll be others who want to play in high school and go to college and move on from there. Fantastic in all cases. And there'll be a smaller minority who want to go on to the very highest levels of the game and represent their country at the next World Cup. Fantastic. Irrespective of that ambition, the same level of care and attention must be afforded to them throughout their time at the club. And that's really important. And to do it, you need the right people. I don't want average. I don't like the word normal. That, for me, just gets normal at average end product. We have to have people who add value above and beyond the job spec. We have to make sure they embrace the opportunity that the club affords them and they can buy into it. People who want to take responsibility and people who want to be accountable. And that's the right people. And if we get the right people moving forward, we'll be in a good place. But the work starts very quickly. The women will report back on July the 1st and start playing mid-August. Fantastic. The men very quickly thereafter. And we have to make sure we get the right coaches, the right head of performance, the right support staff to create that environment which is so important. And please trust me, I understand the American psyche. I'm talking about environment and care and attention, absolute priorities. But we want to win as well. Make sure we want to win. We want to make sure that we have a club that the fan base and the community are proud to support, love coming to see, and we want to win games of football. But we do that, that's the end product. You don't build from the top down, we build from the base up. And if you get the foundations right in terms of the values, philosophy and what we stand for as a club, then we can have strong foundations and build forward. And I'm sure the rest of it will naturally fall into place. So, again, it's a sincere thank you to Ricky and Steve and the ownership group. It's a privilege to be here. I'm looking forward to the work that lies ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you all for being here. We are absolutely thrilled to welcome a world-class sporting director of your caliber to the club. Mark's leadership, expertise, and vision will be instrumental to helping us build a winning soccer organization from the ground up. As Steve mentioned, everything we do at Sporting JAX is driven by the highest standards. From introducing Division I women's and hopefully now men's professional soccer to Jacksonville, to building a 15,000-person soccer-specific stadium, to developing the next generation of elite players. Bringing in a leader of Mark's stature reaffirms our commitment to making Sporting JAX a premier soccer institution, not just on the First Coast, but across the USL and far beyond. When I first met Mark, I think it was several months, almost a year ago now, and I certainly had no appreciation for how legendary he is and how fortunate we are to have him. But I sat down and I shared what was on my heart, and as I've said before, we have a really incredible opportunity to impact the lives of 10,000 children and growing very quickly. And the part that I was most excited about was how can we focus on their character? How can we teach these children the benefits of working together as a team, coming together with different gifts and different talents to create the greatest and biggest impact? And how can we teach these children to love the Lord their God with all their heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love their neighbor as themselves? And so I shared this with Mark, and I'm like, what do you think? And I realized he was like-minded. I always knew we would hit the mark if we could hit the character piece right, because I knew we would get the best coaching talent and technical and sporting talent. So just so grateful for you, Mark, to be here. And I think this is just the beginning of what we're going to do. I know we've got a lot of incredible news coming out within weeks and months, from key personnel hires to developments, and many more things to come on how we're going to elevate soccer on the First Coast and beyond. So stay tuned. Mark, welcome to the Sporting JAX family.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll open it up for questions from members of the media, if you'd like here. Mark, Steve, or Ricky can answer those from the table. If anybody has any now, we can also...
What's the record going to be like this year for the men and the women under your leadership?
The record in terms of...
Performance.
Well, we'll soon find out. There'll be a number of teams saying exactly the same as I. They're all going to finish top of the table and no one loses. That'll be the obvious message. But the fact is, we're going to go in as a new franchise, a new roster, a new team, and we're going to try and put as much in place as we possibly can. As Ricky said, it takes time to develop what you truly want to be. But I have every faith that we can have a roster which is going to compete very aggressively. And it's about creating the environment I mentioned, but making sure we give the public, the community, a team they're proud of. They have to enjoy coming to watch a team play. There's no point in saying they played fantastic football but lost 4-0. They want a team that they enjoy watching, that they're proud of, and the players they're proud of, but they want to go and win football as well. So let's say we'll finish as high as we possibly can, if that answers the question.
Have you moved any closer to announcing a stadium?
We're always moving closer to announcing the stadium. That's the goal, and I think we're probably closer now than we've ever been before. We expect to make some significant announcements on that in the coming weeks. So a lot of work has gone into it. We've been working on it for the last 2 years. I know a lot of the fans are interested in where we're going to play the games. Obviously, we're going to kick off at UNF, but the next question is, when is the stadium coming? And we get that, we understand that. It does take some time though, and hopefully it will be worth the wait. We're really excited about what we're lining up, what we're developing, what we're cooking up. And I think it will be definitely an announcement that's worth waiting for, but hopefully we'll make that sooner rather than later.
I know you guys were in between 2 or 3 locations. Do you have the location at least where the stadium was going to be?
We're still looking at several locations. We always are. I think we've got probably a location that we favour more than others. But again, we're kind of putting the finishing touches to that right now, and looking forward to making that announcement as soon as we can, believe me.
And what you just said you have replaced it. Can you tell us a little bit?
No, I can't tell you what it is, but thanks for asking.
Will Mark have a say in the layout of that new stadium and kind of the needs it'll have for the team?
I'll maybe let Mark talk a little bit to that, but yeah, I mean the whole point of bringing in a head of soccer at this juncture is that they have some influence in what we're doing, and that will be across everything. Mark has tremendous experience. He's been involved in the setup of pro academies, in Europe for the last 15, 20 years. He's been involved in not only the setup of the academies, but the training facilities as well. And coming from clubs like Brighton and Brentford and Nottingham Forest, who we've visited and spent some time looking at as well, that's the type of arrangement that we want to put in place here in Jacksonville. So again, it's no coincidence that we've got a person of Mark's calibre and quality here to help us do that, and it's going to be great for us to have him involved from the get-go in terms of all of this development.
It's understanding what the players need, what is right in terms of the stadium, match preparation, in terms of training every day. The stadium is great, but use it once a week or once every 2 weeks. It's a training ground that you have to get right in terms of that's their place of work every single day. So it's making sure the quality of the pitches and the facilities around them, the canteen, etc., the food, what we provide, and the quality of the gyms. It's making sure it's the best we can afford to give them the best opportunity to realise their potential. So yeah, I hope very much I can advise in terms of the intricate details, but the structural stuff, of course, Ricky, Steve, and the designers will do their work, I'm sure.
So Mark, you spent most of your career, your playing career, your coaching career, your technical career in England and Scotland. The weather there is clearly far more different than what we have here in Florida. How will you adjust the tactics and the system that you would like to implement from the ground up based on playing in Jacksonville, Florida, where it is hot, humid, muggy, and sometimes miserable in the middle of summer?
Very similar to Glasgow, I can assure you. No, it's me understand the conditions. I said to you at the start, I'm new here, so I recognise it. I've been holidaying in Naples for many, many years, so I appreciate July and August, or in Florida, I understand that. But again, don't forget it's the coaching staff. My job is to oversee the football department, soccer department, but it's making sure the coaches, they know what's right for their players and for their team, and I'm there to support and help and give opinion, etc. So I'm sure we're going to have people who understand the climate, what's best for the players, if it's early morning training, late evening training, etc. We do what we have to do to give them that best chance of success. Very simple.
To that point, like, what would be how would you like for Sporting JAX to play? Like, if you saw them 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it's like, that's us. What is us?
That's a great question. I've always said I've been a manager or head coach, as you call it, for many games and some big games. And the last thing I want is intrusion from above in regards to team selection, how I want to play. So I will never do that. I always talk to the coaches and have debate about soccer. That's what we love. But the fact is, it's their responsibility at the end in terms of the formation and the team selection. But for me, there's certain traits, certain attributes we have to show from a technical and tactical side. The speed of ball movement, for example, is very important to me. The intensity with which we play, the understanding of our roles with and without the ball, the creation of chances in key areas, all of these various data points we have to make sure we hit, because it's important that the fans go and enjoy. I keep saying they enjoy watching their team play. If you see a ball laboured, pass slowly across the pitch, and you see everyone laboured, and that's not what the team want. That's not what the public want. We have to make sure there's an intensity about our play and a desire and a passion about our play. And as I say, that'll be in play. That's our job, to make sure we implement that day in, day out.
And one more follow-up to that. Northeast Florida has a very, very long legacy, especially on the girls and women's side, of producing players just like you described. How much does that make your job easier to putting a team out this year, creating finding players for a roster, that there are literally so many players that embody what you believe football is, who live within 35 miles of where we're speaking?
Yeah, trust me, of the 500 or so players I get per day at the moment, it's just deciphering through all the various talents, and they're all keen to progress. As an outsider coming in, there's a shortage of pathways for young women in terms of their soccer careers, so I understand that. But for us, it's about getting the very best. If we can find the very, very best here in Jacksonville, fantastic. But without being disrespectful in any way, we've got to make sure we put out the best team possible to represent the club and the community. So it's ruthless. They always say at home, the homegrown players are given more time. You're more patient with the homegrown players. But the one thing they don't say is they have to be good enough. They have to be good enough to compete at this highest level and take the club forward in its journey. This is our first year. We have to make sure we put that team on the field that, as I say, everyone is very proud of. So we'll develop that team. If they're good enough, they're local. As I say, fantastic on my part. Makes my job much easier. But we have to make sure that our search is consistent and deep and brings the best to Jacksonville.
Mark, this is a big American football town. How do you make it a soccer town? How do you fill those 15,000 seats?
Well, I hope very much what we've been saying about the quality of player we produce on and off the pitch. The values that they hold and the character they show when playing for the club and representing the club is all important. So the community has to recognise that. You can't ever expect to fill a stand or to fill a seat. You have to give them a reason to go and fill that seat. And that reason, as I say, on the pitch is our style of play, is the intensity which we play, and playing with a smile on your face. I say to every player, smile. You're playing soccer full time. How can you not enjoy that job? You're privileged to be in that job. So sometimes they take themselves too seriously. The fact is we want to be the very best we can be. And to get there, we can do it by making sure you enjoy every single minute, challenge the players, challenge the staff, give them pathways and programs, which really pushes them every day. But they have to enjoy the being pushed. Some players don't want to be pushed. Some will never make it to the top level. Others will go all the very way. So we have to make sure we have the staff in place who can implement those programs of work and push in the right direction.
Just to add to that quickly, Jacksonville is a football town, an American football town, but it's also a soccer town.
You're stealing my thunder.
I'm sorry, Mike. The latest YouGov studies, Nielsen studies, suggest 300, 400,000 soccer enthusiasts in the market. This is a huge market for soccer, and right now it's not being delivered high-level professional, football, soccer, and we obviously want to change that. Sorry, Ricky.
No, thank you for saying that. If I can just make a comment about that, I've been blown away at how big a soccer town or city North Florida is. These guys have a TV show that's like on Wednesdays and Saturdays. We're not even playing soccer yet, and they're having thousands of people watch. I don't know if any of you have seen the bright yellow shirts all around town of Florida Elite that will be changing to our colors hopefully here pretty soon. But there's thousands of kids playing. I would venture way more kids are playing soccer every day than other sports. Now, Tebow and I are both football guys. That was our first sport, but this is an incredible sport. It's the fastest growing sport in our country. Children are playing it. It's very unique that it's kind of a ground-up approach with so many youth playing it, touching families every single day. So I love that you brought that up. I think we do watch soccer more, we do watch football more, but soccer is a challenger that's rising quickly, and I think Jacksonville's ready for that challenge.
Clay?
You mentioned the process of assembling staff. What qualities are you looking for in that staff?
Staff that can add value above and beyond the normal job spec. That's what I'm looking for. As I mentioned, I don't want normal. I don't want average. We have to make sure that staff that can embrace the opportunity here. But you want staff who accept the responsibility and with it accountability. That's key. If I applied for a job in the UK now, if I advertised an academy coach, I'd have 100 CVs in 24 hours. But it's deciphering down who are those who can add value to the club and add value to the project and embrace the opportunity. That's the key for me. Of course they have to be knowledgeable about the game. Of course they have to be good communicators. They have to be able to recognise player needs individually and collectively. But you need that expertise in terms of performance, in terms of assistance, in terms of analysis, in terms of sports strength, conditioning, etc. You have to make sure they have subject knowledge that they can impart to the players, and that's the importance of our search.
What clubs and what individuals would you say have shaped most of your perspective of what you'd like this club to become? From managing in England and Scotland all these years, what has shaped your vision for the club?
Well, as Ricky mentioned about himself and Tim growing up with NFL, I grew up playing soccer. That was it in the UK. That's it. It's a global game, and we just every day, every night, you're just playing football, and you understand and you watch, and you have role models all the way up going, and then you have the privilege to work with some outstanding individuals in the game. So in terms of owners,